So I have a question for you. Are you like me? Some days I am firing on all cylinders where I show up and like there is laptop work going on, there are phone calls going on, there's things getting done, I'm driving places, I'm doing errands, I'm spending money on things, I'm picking things up, and we're creating value, and things are going out and things are going in, and it's like I'm on fire. I'm in the flow, hair on fire, the whole thing, and it feels amazing. And that's some days. And then there's some other days. There's some other days where I feel like I'm a sloth with ADHD, where I can barely get anything done, and I'm moving really slowly, and I'm also really distracted by everything around me. And I'm just completely not there. Like I look at work that I have to get done, and I stare at it like somebody wrote it in a language that I don't understand. And it seems confusing, and it seems like I don't know where to start, and it seems like it's a bad idea, and I don't really know what's going on, and maybe I should get some water, maybe I should use the restroom, maybe there's a snack somewhere. Ooh, let's adjust my desk. Oh wait, let's clean the desk. Hey, I wonder what's going on my favorite YouTube channel. Ever have days like this? I totally get it. For those of us who work for ourselves, it is super critical. It is super critical that we stay focused and on our game. Focused and on our game. Focused and on our game more consistently than anything else. Now, this doesn't mean that from time to time we're not going to get distracted. This doesn't mean that we're not going to have days where we have off days. This doesn't mean that we don't deserve to take some time off and not work ourselves to death. But being focused and consistent in our work is the key to finding success in anything in life. The topic of this post with the attached PDF is all about finding focus and flow in a distracted world. On those days when I'm not getting all the things done I want, it's like a three-ring circus in my head, where it's like everything is distracting, and then I'm wondering what's going on, and then I'm judging what I'm doing, and I'm judging what I'm not doing, and I'm wondering, like, is this the root of why I haven't gotten the things I want in the world? Is this the beginning of the end? Is this where I fall off the edge of the planet? Is this why I'll never be successful? And does this mean that my parents didn't love me? And does this mean my marriage is over soon? And have I failed my kids? And that's where it goes, right? Like we find ourselves inside our head playing out these dramatic scenarios of how worst case things can happen. And what I notice is two different things. First of all, it's an incredibly distracting conversation that it feels like we're a victim of. The second thing I notice is I'm spending all the time inside my head and not outside in the world. Like if someone walked into the room, they just see me looking at a computer screen. They can't see the ruminations I'm going through. They can't see the battle or the fight. All they see is silence because I'm inside my head instead of outside in the world. So the key pieces of going in a world of distraction, finding your focus, finding your flow, is around two different ideas. And the first one is going from being a victim to being the master of your brain. Going from being the victim to being the master of your brain and your perspective and your internal monologue. Ooh, that's a big one, but it's really important, and that's what we're going to help you with in this post. The second piece is moving from inside to outside, moving from inside our head and the thoughts that we're having to moving outside of our head and start building traction and taking action and using that as leverage and momentum to take on the next task. And then before you know it, it's the next task, and it's the next task, and it's the next task. So in this post, what you're going to see is that first part where we're talking about going from the victim to the master is in the blog post, and in the PDF that you can click, download, and have for yourself is all about moving from the inside to the outside with actionable steps that will get you from stuck back into action and back onto the goals that you're up to and building the life that you want. It is totally easy to feel overwhelmed in life. Life is complicated. Life has many overlapping layers, time commitments, responsibilities, like one thing after another. We have multiple layers of relationships, all of which require some sort of attention. Much just need light pieces of attention, but lots need much more, depending on the kind of parent you want to be. Maybe you're all in with your kids and you want to make sure you're spending quality time with them. Same with your spouse, but you also need that time with your friends, but you also have family to think about. And then you have coworkers, and then you have workers, and then there's that guy at the coffee shop, and then there's that, the thing over here, and there's the other commitment, and here's my volunteer work over here. And it all all needs a little bit of something, and it can make a distracting world. So it is easy to feel like, oh my God, everything is just another obligation, this and that and the other thing. And before you know it, we're worrying about things that haven't even come up yet. We're worrying about that thing that is 9 months away. I have a family reunion that I'm organizing 9 months away, and I'm worrying about it. Why am I worrying about it now? There's actually nothing to do about it. Everything's lined up the way it's supposed to be. That being said, we have to plant our flag in the ground, draw a line in the sand. This is something that we have to decide we're going to do, and we have to take control over. And that is you have to be willing to say, I am going to be the master of my mindset. So going from being a victim of how things are going to being the master of your schedule and your plan and your mindset is about empowering yourself in lots of different ways. And the first and most powerful way is to say no. Empower yourself to say no. You are capable and effective, and you're a wonderful human being, and people are going to ask things of you. And that is wonderful, and it feels so good when somebody asks you and says, oh my gosh, that is so great. Maybe you could help with this. Do you think you could help us with this? We're really struggling with this. And who wants to say no to that? But part of being a master is deciding for yourself, does this request meet with what I expect of my future? And does it go in the direction that I intend to go with building my future of success, whatever that means for you, or more time with family, or more time with my spouse, or more free time, or more time for service, or more time for building my business? You have to be willing to say no to things that don't fit you. Additionally, you have to look at what your world is involved in right now. It's very easy to consistently be giving up your time to things that you've been giving up your time for a long time to, and they don't really fit you anymore. Now, they may have served you when you first started. They may have served the organization when you first started, but either it doesn't fit you or your role no longer fits in the organization, and neither you nor the organization have finally said, you know what, it's time for me to move on. This is that invitation. We have to be the master of our schedule and the master of our time. If we are the master and empower ourselves to say no when we need to say no, when to let go of things that we've been doing, even though they're regular, even though they're consistent, even though they've been part of our pattern for a long time, it's important to say no. An important thing I said no to 2 years ago was drinking. I actually gave up drinking 2 years ago. It's actually 2 years ago last week, and it has changed my life. This past year, I let go of a volunteer position that I'd had for 3 years, and I never thought I would until it really became clear to me. I woke up one day and realized, oh my gosh, this role doesn't serve me anymore. And I wrote an email and I thanked the organizer so much, and I knew we were between seasons, so it was a good time to do it, and I resigned from the position. So at the end of the day, to go from being the victim to being the master of your mindset is really about making a choice, a powerful choice, and choosing to put yourself, your schedule, your commitments, and where you put your energy and time ahead of everyone else's. And that includes your family. If you take care of you and make sure that your priorities are getting handled, everything else will line up behind it because you'll have energy for all the things that are commitments in your life. The next piece is going from inside to outside. Now, going from inside to outside is a super important thing to be aware of. We live like the voice that's in our head that is telling us whatever story is telling us about whatever is going on or not going on, and it's making judgments and it's making decisions and it's thinking about big, deep thoughts and it's wondering about things in the future and this, that, and the other thing, and oh my gosh, and what are we going to do over here, and I think this is super interesting. All of that is really great, except that it's all going on up here. And if it's all going on up here and it's not relating into something that's happening in the world, then nothing is changing. You can change your thoughts all you want, but if you are not anchoring them with action, if you are not sticking a flag in the ground going, this is what I thought in my head, this is what I said I wanted to get, this is what I saw that was new for me, and how I'm going to make that real in the world, and how I'm going to start building muscle, consistency, regularity around that is by taking an action outside in the world, then it doesn't really matter. Nothing's changed. It may have changed in your head, but it doesn't really matter if you're not taking actions. Like you could say, I'm going to start focusing on my health and well-being. That's my big focus for this year. I'm really on it. I've been thinking a lot about going to the gym. I've been thinking a lot about changing my diet. And I've been thinking about it. I think I'm getting ready. I think I'm getting ready. God, that drives me nuts when people say that. I'm kind of getting ready to go do that. Well, there's getting ready to go do that, and then there's doing that. And if you're getting ready to do that, I don't want to hear about it. Like, nobody wants to hear about it because that's only interesting to you. If you're doing it, then do it. Like, you know what? I decided I'm doing this, and this is what I did to get it done. That's what we're talking about. That's action. I thought about something, and I brought it into reality, and I brought it into being. It's I think, therefore I do. If I think, therefore I think, nothing changes in the world. The PDF download, it's just a click away. That download is the key from going from the inside of what's going on in your head to the outside and taking action on it. So it really is a step-by-step guide to moving from thoughts and feelings and what are we going to do, and maybe we'll make some decisions here, and taking that and moving it into something physical in the outside world where you can take action and find yourself accountable and taking consistent actions and moving forward and getting progress, and oh my God, and all of a sudden we're living the life we want to live. Like, who wouldn't want that? So here's what I want you to do. You read the article, you download the thing that we got for you, and if you have questions, concerns, comments, if we're missing something, if you have a question about something, put it in the comments below if you're looking at this someplace where it has comments, or if this is an email, reply. Just hit click and reply. I need some support around this, and I will see you on the inside. This has been Charlie from Heroic Fatherhood. Talk to you soon.